This side of the wire fence is EU and NATO territory. The other belongs to Belarus. The man with the shovel doesn't care whose frontier it is. He just wants to get to Western Europe, and if that means threatening a Polish border guard, so be it. Elsewhere on the 250-mile-long border, but still on the Polish side, and when people talk about hybrid warfare, this is what they mean. The Poles have guns, but the shooting that really matters here is done by smartphone. This is a propaganda war. The Belarusians, the men in balaclavas and green, are chaperoning migrants to the fence in search of weak points. They want to present what's happening here as a humanitarian crisis. At least 7 migrants may have died on this border, and present the Poles as the villains of the peace, unfeeling in the face of wailing women and children. But the Poles are having none of it. They've declared a state of emergency and brought in helicopters and 12,000 extra soldiers. Warsaw sees what's happening here as an assault on its very sovereignty. The Polish border is not just a line on a map, the country's Prime Minister said today. The border is sacred. Polish blood has been spilled for it. The Poles point out that the vast majority of the migrants are young men, including the man we saw a few moments ago who, having failed to cut the fence with a shovel, is trying again with wire cutters. Elsewhere, migrants are throwing tree trunks onto the fence, hoping to create gaps. On the other side of the border now, and these are pictures from just inside Belarusia. They were filmed by activists opposed to Alexander Lukashenko and bury any lie that this is a spontaneous mass movement of asylum seekers. There are Belarusian soldiers everywhere. They are making this happen. A passing car takes in the scale of this human tide. It instantly evokes memories of 2015 and the mass movement of more than 1 million migrants who were drawn through Eastern Europe to begin a new life in the West, encouraged by an invitation from the German Chancellor. Here the migrants are chanting German, German. But where are they heading? Will they stop in Germany or push on westwards, perhaps to Britain? The Lukashenko government has tempted them here with flights to Minsk and buses to the border. The migrants want a better life. Belarus calculates that they are, in fact, human ammunition in a war where no shots are fired. What's happening here begs a very different and difficult question. If Lukashenko sees migrants as a weapon to degrade the West with, what does that say to people in Britain who argue for open borders?